Hi folks, and welcome to Trading Stuff. In this video we're going to look at optimizing the MACD bot. The MACD bot is a fairly straightforward bot to optimize. It's a simple strategy based on the MACD crossing the zero line, or in our case we optimize where the zero line would be, trying to get into both buys and sells early. Okay, the first thing I always do is to come into here and I type in my MACD and V2, and that gets rid of all the other clutter that's otherwise in that table, because it's so easy when you're switching between things to accidentally go into the wrong thing and make a mistake, I find. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to select GB dollar. That's the one we're going to try and optimize, and we're already in Automate. I've selected GB dollar, so the next stage is to select the optimization tab. Next thing I do is select Auto Select Best Pass. The next thing we do is to check our backtest settings on the cog here. Starting capital I always set to 1000, commission is 30 by default, and we're going to use M1 bars because this is an hourly strategy and minute bars should give us a reasonable result. Because we've used M1 bars and not tick data, when we come to backtest, we must backtest whatever results we get in tick data to see how good they really are. And finally, I set a spread to a fixed value of 1. When we actually come to do the backtest, because we're using tick data, it will use the value of spread that was actually there at the time, so it will be perfectly accurate. But from the point of view of optimization, we're just going to set it to a fixed 1. Okay, so the next thing we do is to come here and we're going to set up our cBOT parameters. Now the basic rule is with the cBOT parameters, if you want to optimize a value, then you tick the box. If we're not going to optimize the value, we don't tick the box. So firstly we have time frame, which is preset to 1 hour because it's an H1 time frame. Instance, we're only running one instance, so we leave that unticked. Quantity in lots, we're presetting at 0.1 of a lot, so we leave that unticked. Stop and limit, I normally run from 50 to 200 on first point optimization. Now it may be that you don't want to run with a 200 pip stop. That doesn't matter, set it to 200 for first optimization and we can always trim that down later. Moving on, the MACD parameters of 12, 26 and 9 are the absolute standard MACD parameters. There's no need to try and optimize those. By all means try, but it's very unlikely that you'll improve the result. So we just use the standard MACD parameters of 12, 26 and 9, and these are all unticked, so it won't try and optimize those. Okay, so next we want to optimize the buy and sell levels on the MACD. Now this is a little more involved, so I can't just give you a number that you can plug in and get your optimization to run, because it's different for each and every instrument. Things we have to decide are the size of window we want to test, and then the step size that we want the optimization to work in. So the easiest way to do this is to come to a chart with your MACD on, and we're just looking for, let's go back to the start of the chart, we're just looking to estimate a high level, and we'll just use the negative value as an estimate of the low level of the MACD. And this is the bit that varies for each individual instrument. So I use the market snapshot tool here, come down to here, place your cursor around here, and it shows you the value here of the MACD at this point is 00136. You might want to, what I normally do is just scroll a little bit through the MACD, and there's maybe a higher one, come to here, 00253. Okay, so from that I would round that up and use a value of 003. So we come back to our optimization table here, and here I enter 003, and here 003, and you'll notice this is already preset to minus, and here 003, and here it's already there, but 003 there. Now step size, I would normally choose, where we've got 003, I would normally choose 00, not 3, but another 0 and then 0.1, sorry, 1. So to check that that makes sense and that's a sensible step size, what I normally do is come back to my chart, come down here to the MACD, right click and bring up the parameters and do an add new level. And I'll just change that thickness to 3 so I can see it. And here we've got a level preset to 0. And what I can do is to a point 0001, and you can see where the line is there. If I go back to 003, sorry, that's actually gone off the chart because we chose quite a high level, and I can't show you, but it'll be up here. So let me come back and change that to a 2. There we are, there's a 2. So the step size we want to do is obviously much smaller than 001, so let's go 00301, gives us a step size there, and we can quickly just whiz through these. So I can go 001 and go to 2, 3, 4, 5, so we can see that's a sensible step size to use. So we'll leave that set to a step size of 001. So come back to our optimization settings, and we've got a step size of 0001. Okay, so just a quick look back at our parameters here. So we're testing from minus 003, sorry, we're using a window size of minus 003 to a maximum of plus 003 in steps of 0.1. And again, as we've just seen, you can actually put these lines, these values onto your MACD to make sure that you've got it right. Next we have the use bar since, which we set to yes. Then we have number of bars, and I set this to a range of 4 to 25. Exit on reverse cross we set to yes. Use advanced protection we set to no, so make sure you untick all of these boxes. Next we're going to try and find the optimum time of day to trade. So we're going to give the bot the option of starting between 0 and 10 o'clock in the morning, and we want it to stop trading any time between 10 and 2400, which is midnight. As this is an hourly strategy, we set minutes, we untick minutes and set them both to 0. Moving on down to day of week, we tick up every option here and let the bot decide which days of the week it's best to trade. And finally, send messages to Telegram and the debug mode, please leave unticked and set to no. Okay, so now we're ready to start our actual optimization. So come here, let's do some quick double checking. We've got our auto select best pass ticked. We've got our starting capital set to 1000, our commission set to 30, our data set to M1 bars, and we're running with a fixed spread value of 1 pip. Our cBOT settings with parameters we've got set up here, already done. Optimization criteria, I would recommend you use the standard optimization criteria. We're using genetic algorithm rather than grid exhaustive search. I run with my performance resources set to 93%, and the important thing now is to set the start date. We're going to run this for 6 months, so I'm going to go from the 1st of December through until the 31st of May. And when we're ready to run, we now click play. You will see that it's loading data, and what I haven't done is turned on my trade watch so we can see what's happening here. While it's running, I normally watch the equity chart, see it building, and you can see here it's running through quite quickly and it's showing us all of the parameters on the screen here. So this is going to take about 10 minutes to run on my machine, so we'll let this run and come back to it in a moment. Okay, so we can see our optimization is finished. It's given us a reasonable looking equity curve. Trade stats, it's showing a profit over 6 months of 1745 with a, a balance drawdown of 6%, an equity drawdown of 7%, which is really okay. That's really quite good. So the next thing we need to do is we need to take these parameters that it's generated and apply them to our GB bot. So to do that, we click on apply of the highlighted bar. If for any reason this isn't shown, you can either scroll around to find it, or what you can do is just click on any line, which will automatically untick the box, and if you retick it, it'll go away and find it and highlight it. Then you click on apply. We come to our bot, and we will see that it's loaded all of those parameters into the bot for you. So we now go to backtesting. We set the same date test window from the 1st of December 2020 to the 31st of May. Double check here that our starting capital is 1,000, commission 30, and make sure now we need to change this to tick data. That's very important that we do that. And when we've done that, click play. And you can see it's loading data. It'll take a few seconds, a few minutes to load the data, and then it'll start to run the back test. You can see here it's slowly working its way. We're up to day 61 of 163 days of data that we have to load. This takes a while because it's loading the actual tick data, so this is an awful lot of information that it's loading into your machine. Once it's done this, it won't need to do it again for GB dollar. Now we can see it's very nearly finished, and as soon as it's finished it will start running the back test as it has done now. And here we are, we're running through the back test. You can see the equity curve building as it's running. It won't take long to run, it's quite quick. And here we are, it's finished. Now we can look at the trade stats, and we're getting 1758.26. Compare that with our optimization, which gave us 1745. So a very similar figure. In fact, it's a little better on a backtest, which is great. That's it. One thing I didn't show you before I ran the backtest, and I normally do it before I run the backtest, is when you've loaded that, when you've applied the parameters to your bot, come to your bot, right click and do a save parameters. It's very important you save them. I have a method of saving them, and in my results, where are we, GB dollar, I have a file for each currency, and then in each currency I have the individual bot and MACD cross version 2, and I save them in a folder. Okay, that's it. That's optimizing the MACD pretty much wrapped up. There's one thing that a few people have asked that I will mention, is in the parameters that it comes up with here, with GB dollar, it comes up with the option it wants to trade every day, because that's the best option, and it gives you pretty much a 24-hour window of 0 midnight to 2300, 11 o'clock at night. If you want to change this, you can just put in whatever. If you want to start at 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, just change these times here before you start your bot. If you do that, what I'd recommend you do is put in, if you want to trade from say 8 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, put in 8 till 4, run the back test again, and note the change in profit. Particularly have a note, make a note of the profit factor for longs and shorts and combined, because obviously the result will be less if you trade a smaller window, but as long as the profit factor is similar, then you know that it's going to work. Okay, that just about wraps it up for now. So if you have been, thank you for watching.